What is the difference between an illegal immigrant who unfortunately engages in that activity?
And we don't like that. I want to be clear. We don't use the term illegal. So
yeah, we don't,
undocumented individuals.
That's sweet. They're illegal aliens.
That's sweet. They're illegal aliens.
The illegal immigration crisis we have in this country, of course, is one of the biggest issues going into the 2024 presidential election. Of course, the people on the left, the Democrats, they're like, what's the big deal? Why do you care so much about it? Whereas Republicans, conservatives, and your average everyday Americans are saying, well, there's a myriad of problems, one of which actually is voter replacement theory. Of course, over here pointed out by Elon Musk, commenting on J. Michael Waller's post over on X, welfare offices in 49 states are handing out voter registration applications to illegal aliens. No proof of citizenship required. And Elon Musk is here commenting, another conspiracy theory turns out to be true. Strange that Arizona requires proof of citizenship for state, but not for federal elections. And for a long time, people on the left have been saying, there's no illegal immigrants voting in our federal elections. Oh, but come to find out then, why in the world is Biden having an open border with millions upon millions of people allowed into this country? And now, of course, we have the welfare offices passing out voter registration. And that's because, yes, illegals are actually allowed to vote federally. All right. In places like Arizona and other states, you are not required to prove citizenship to receive a federal only ballot. This will allow anyone to vote in federal elections, including presidential elections. You must only check a box affirming that you are a citizen and a box affirming you will be 18 or older on or before election day. All right. So this is all basically the honor system, because down here, if you just put your name and address, you will have a ballot mailed to you. And the proof of citizenship, or the last 4 digits of your social security number, are completely optional. It is not a required field. So yes, uncovered here, illegal immigrants can vote in our federal elections, which of course is why Biden is allowing 10+ million people into this country. But of course, how do we combat this? Because this is not the only issue we have to deal with. And we're going to see this addressed today over on MSNBC by another bald-headed lady. So before we get into the clip, please like and comment this video. Let's get into it.
So what do these people do? What are they doing now?
Which people?
The folks, the 11 million, 20 million, whatever you want to deport.
A lot of them are committing crimes like murdering the 12-year-old girl in Houston. In fact,
so that's one out of 11 million. What is the?
We can take the remaining time of the segment, and I can give you a lot of examples.
In Texas, undocumented immigrants were 37.1% less likely to be convicted of a crime. Undocumented immigrants, and according to a survey, University of California Riverside study, 33% less likely to be in prison as of 2021.
Young lady killed in
I'm just giving the numbers.
Well, what do you tell the parents of those people, those young girls who were killed? This is absurdity. The preponderance of these people, Michael, are male.
But what is the difference between an illegal immigrant who unfortunately engages in that activity?
And we don't like that. I want to be clear. We don't use the term illegal. So undocumented individuals.
That's sweet. They're illegal aliens.
Undocumented individuals versus anyone else who commits the same crime. Well, I mean, so what you're saying is because you have this instance of individuals behaving badly, that's a reflection of every individual in that community, and that's just not the case.
No, what is the case is that because the preponderance.
I mean, what percentage of those people, the 11 million that you want to
answer your question.
No, I just want to clarify my question.
I'm going to jump in right here because they never actually allow Kevin to answer this question. So Michael Steele right there, the former head of the RNC, and you can see why we were so ineffectual for many years with him asking these types of questions. What are these people doing that you don't like? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the horrific murders that have been taking place that have been grabbing headlines all over the nation. That 12-year-old girl he just referenced, she was tortured and assaulted for an hour before this group of illegal immigrants murdered her underneath a bridge. All right, so how about that? But then of course Michael Steele jumps back and says, well, how is that any different from, like, say, American citizen doing that? Well, it's really easy. That's a murder that would not have happened if the border was shut. That would not have happened if the illegal immigrants were not allowed into this country, right? So never mind the burglary rings, the trafficking rings, never mind all of that of course has been happening and documented over the last several months and years in this country, perpetrated by illegal immigrants. None of that matters to Michael Steele, right? Because obviously it's not everybody. That's just one instance. And of course, Simone has to jump in here and say, oh, I have these stats here that show that illegal immigrants are actually far less likely to commit crimes. And I say, bullcrap on that. I'd have to look at these studies specifically. But what has been shown time and time again is that they take illegal immigrants and lump them in with legal immigrants. And since legal immigrants are far and away less likely to be committing crimes even than American citizens, and the illegal immigrants are actually far more likely to be committing crimes, they average that out, and hey, they're actually less likely to commit crimes than your regular, normal American citizens. Now, she did say the words illegal immigrant specifically, but then she didn't actually cite the study for Texas. She does cite the survey out of California, which I totally trust. So yes, everyone is recognizing that this is a losing issue for the Democrats, unless, of course, you happen to be in the Democrat leadership yourself, like Elizabeth Warren. Check this out.
There have been more than 6.9 million apprehensions at the southern border. Thus far, in Biden's term, there were just over 2 million in Donald Trump's entire term. What did the president do wrong?
No, this isn't about what the president did wrong. Remember, on the very first day that he was sworn into office, President Biden asked Congress both for the resources and for comprehensive immigration reform. The Republicans blocked it, blocked it, blocked it, blocked it.
Donald Trump didn't have that either, Senator. He didn't have that either, and there were 2 million during his entire term.
Until last fall. The president tries to deal with the problem that is presented to him. He can't deal with it if Congress and the Republicans continue to block him. And so the president is using the tools available to him, both to create border security, but he doesn't have the resources because the Republicans are blocking access.
But he is president. Understood. I do think you've made your point. But poll after poll, as Matt Rivers just pointed out, say that this is a very weak poll number for President Biden.
I am totally shocked and amazed that ABC is willing to point out and say Donald Trump was able to close down the border essentially without approval from Congress, and yet Joe Biden can't do it. But Elizabeth Warren says, oh, he's trying to work with them. He's trying to work with Republicans, but they won't let it. They're blocking it. Oh, no. Yeah, that bill was the worst thing ever. 2 million illegals allowed in per year legally under that bill. So yes, I'm glad we blocked it because it was not a solution to this crisis. But of course, Elizabeth Warren, she just doesn't understand that, yes, it's all Joe Biden's fault. He has the power to shut this down simply by following current federal law. But instead, what does he want? The votes. He wants to allow them in because he really wants to win that election, because he knows he's losing voters in droves. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.